Ode 1.1. Maecenas, having been descended from ancestor kings, owe both my protection and sweet honor. There are those whom it pleases to have collected dust on the Olympian chariot, and the turning point having been avoided with boiling wheels, and by noble palms carries the masters of earth to the gods. This one, if the changing Roman crowd strives to lift him to triple offices, that one, if he has stored in his own granary whatever he collected from the Libyan threshing floors, you may never move from the one rejoicing his father's fields with the hoe to Italiacian agreements, so that he cuts the Mytorian sea with a Cyprian beam as a frightened sailor. A merchant fearing the southwestern wind, wrestling with the Icarian sea, praises leisure and the countryside of his own town. Soon he repairs the shaken-up ships, untrained to suffer poverty. There is he who spurns neither the cups of old Massic wine, nor to take away apart from a whole day. Now, having been stretched out at the limbs under a green tree, now to the gentle head of a sacred waters encampments please many, and the mixed together sound with curved cavalry trumpet and of the straight war trumpet, and war detested by mothers. The hunter remains under the cold air, forgetful of his tender wife. Whether a deer has been seen by the faithful dogs, or a Martian wild boar ruptures the smooth nets, the ivory rewards of a learned brow mixes me with the gods above. The cool grove and the light choral dances of nymphs with the satyrs separates me from the people. If Euterpe does not hold back the flutes, nor Polyhymena does not flee from extending the lesbian lyre, but if you will insert me with the lyric prophet, I will strike the stars with high head. Ode 1.5. What slender boy, drenched in liquid perfumes, presses hard upon you on many a rose? Pyrrha, under cover of a pleasing cave. For whom do you tie back your yellow hair simple with elegance? Alas, how often will he lament faith and changed gods, and in surprise he unaccustomed will excessively wonder at rough waters with black winds. He who now enjoys you, believing you are golden, who hopes that you be always free, be always lovable, unaware of the treacherous breeze. Miserable ones for whom she shines untried, the sacred wall with its votive tablet shows me to have hung the dripping garments for the God who rules over the sea. Ode 1.9. You see how Mount Soracte stands bright with deep snow, nor the working forest able to sustain the burden, and the rivers have stood sharp with frost. Dissolve the cold generously piling logs above the fireplace, and bring out more liberally, O Thaliarchus, 4-year-old unmixed wine in 2-handled Sabine jar. Entrust everything else to the gods, who as soon as they have leveled the winds fighting fiercely with the boiling sea, neither the cypress trees nor the old ash trees are agitated. Flee from seeking what tomorrow will bring, and whatever of the day's fortune will give. Count as prophet, boy, nor spurn sweet love, nor dances, so long as difficult gray old age is away from being green. Now the open field and the open space and soft whisperings at night, let them be sought again at the arranged hour. And now the sweet laughter of a girl, betrayer, hiding from the most secret corner, and a pledge having been torn away from her wrists with a badly holding fast finger. Ode 1.11. You should not seek to know as a sin, what for me, what for you, what boundaries the gods might have given. O Lucono, nor try Babylonian numbers. How much better it is to suffer whatever will be, whether Jupiter assigned more winter storms or the last one, which now weakens the Tyrrhenian Sea with the opposing volcanic rocks, may you be wise, strain the wines, and cut back short-term hopes of a long life. While we talk, envious time will flee. Seize the day, trusting as little as possible to the future. Ode 1.13. When you, Lydia, praise the rosy neck of Telephus, praise the waxen arms of Telephus, alas, my burning liver swells with hard bile. Then neither my mind nor my color remains in a sure seat, and approving tears secretly slips onto the cheeks. How deeply I may be softened with slow fires. I am being burned, whether excessive by unmixed wine fights have made ugly your bright shoulders, or if the wild boy pressed a mindful mark on your lips with his teeth. If you may listen to me enough, you may not hope continuously for sweet kisses, barbarically harming the mouth, which Venus drenched with the fifth part of her nectar. Happy 3 times and more are those for whom love holds unbroken bonds, and not quickly be torn apart, broken up from evil quarrels until the final day. Ode 1.22. He who is upright in life and pure of sin does not lack for Moorish javelins, nor bow, nor a laden quiver with poisonous arrows. Fuscus, whether a journey is about to be made through the very hot Syrtes, or through the inhospitable Caucasus, or the places which the famous Hydaspes washed, and for me a wolf flees me, unarmed, in the Sabine forest, while I am singing of my Lalage, and wandering beyond boundary, having been freed cares. Such an abnormal phenomenon as warlike Apollo does not nourish in the wide oak forest, and the land of Juba does not produce dry nurse of lions. Put me in lazy fields where no tree is restored by a summer breeze, the side of the world which fog and bad weather presses. Put me under the chariot of the too near sun, and a land by denied houses. I will love Lalage, sweetly laughing, sweetly speaking. Ode 1.23. You avoid me like a deer, Chloe, seeking its terrified mother in the remote mountains, not without an empty fear of the winds and of the forest. For whether the arrival of spring quivered with changeable leaves, or whether green lizards have moved a bramble, it trembles with its heart and its knees. Nevertheless, I do not pursue you as a cruel tiger or as a Gatulian lion to break you. Cease to follow your mother. At last, you are ripe for a man. Ode 1.24. What restraint or what limit should there be for the longing of so a dear person? Teach mournful songs, Melopne, to whom the Father has given the flowing voice with the lyre. Thus permanent sleep presses upon Quintilius? For whom will restraint and the sister of justice, upright faith, and naked truth find any equal? That one, lamentable to many good men, dies more lamentable for no one than you, Virgil. You, devoted and vain, alas! You demand from the gods the not so entrusted Quintilius. What if you play the lyre, having been heard by the trees more charmingly than Thracian Orpheus? Surely the blood would not return to the empty form, which with his awful wand, not gentle to undo the fates for our prayers, Mercury has wound up for his black flock. It is hard, but it becomes lighter with patience to correct whatever which is sacrilege. Ode 1.25. The bold young men more sparingly shake your joined windows with frequent throwings, nor for you do they take away sleeps, and the door loves the threshold, which previous was moving its hinges more easily. You hear less and less now. With me wasting away long nights for you, Lydia, you sleep? In turn, a weak old woman, you will cry for arrogant adulterers in a lonely alley, with the Thracian wind reveling more under moonless nights, when blazing love and desire for you, which is accustomed to madden the mothers of horses, it will rage around your inflamed liver, not without complaint. Because happy youths may rejoice with the green ivy more than the gray myrtle, and dedicates the dry leaves to Euro, the companion of winter. Ode 1.37. Now there must be drinking, now the earth must be beat with free foot. Now was the time to decorate the couch of the gods for the Salian feast's companions. Previously, it was a sin to bring out Caecupum wine from ancestral wine cellars, while the queen was preparing mad ruins for the Capitoline and the destruction of power, with the impure flock of shameful men, with sickness, powerless to hopes and drunk with sweet fortune, but scarcely one ship, unhurt by flames, reduced the frenzied mind, and drove back the frenzied mind with the myrotic wine to true fears. Caesar, flying from Actium, pursuing just like a hawk pursuing soft doves, or like a swift hunter pursuing a rabbit, in the fields of snowy Thessaly, to give the deadly monster to chains, who is seeking to perish more nobly, neither became frightened of the sword like a woman, nor recover shores lying hidden with a quick fleet, having dared to see the kingdom lying down with the serene face, brave to handle snakes, in order to drink completely black poison with her body, she more fiercely, having carefully considered death, surely refusing to be led away as a private citizen by savage, fast-sailing warships for the arrogant triumph. Ode 1.38. I hate Persian paraphernalia, boy. The crowns tied with lime tree displease me. Do not pursue where of places the late rose delays. I, attentive, care that you add nothing to simple myrtle. Neither is myrtle unsuitable for you, nor for me, drinking under an economical vine. Ode 2.3. Remember to save the equal mind in steep circumstances, not otherwise held back from excessive joy in good circumstances. Dellius, about to die, whether you will live sad in all time, or whether you will make yourself happy, having reclined on remote grass through the festive days with the inner mark of Valerian wine. For what purpose the huge pine and the white poplar love to share the hospitable shadow with branches? Why does the swift water work to hurry and slanting river? Hither order to bring the wine and the perfumes of the very brief flowers of the charming rose, while the dark threads of the three sisters allow. You will draw from the forest and the house and the villa, which the golden Tiber washes. You will yield, and the air will obtain riches having been piled on high, whether born rich from ancient Inachus or poor from the lowest race, it is not of importance. You will linger under the sky, pitying not the victims of Orcus. We are all driven to the same place. The fate of all of us is turned by the urn, sooner or later about to emerge and about to place us in a boat to eternal exile. Ode 2.7. O Pompey, having been led often with me into extreme danger, with Brutus as leader of the military, who gave you back as a Roman citizen to your ancestral gods in Italian sky. first of my companions, with whom I have often crushed the lingering day with wine, crowned at the shining hairs with Syrian oil. With you I have experienced Philippi in a quick flight with my little shield, having been left behind not well, when strength had been shattered and threatening people touched the ground with their shameful chin. But quick Mercury raised me, frightened through enemies in a dense air. Again a wave swallowing again brought you into war in an agitated strait. Therefore give back a dedicated feast to Jove, and lay down your side, tired from long military service, under my laurel, and do not spare from the jars intended from you. Fill up the light cups with forgetful Messian wine, pour ointment from the spacious shells. Who takes care to hurry to complete the crowns with parsley or myrtle? Whom will Venus call the overseer of drinking? I will not rave more sanely than the Thracians. It is sweet for me to be crazy with a regained friend. Ode 2.10. You will live better, Licinius, by neither always pressing deep, nor, while you carefully dread storms, by excessively pressing the treacherous shore. Whoever values a golden mean is safely free from the squalor of a worn-out house, is soberly free from an envious palace. The vast pine is more often moved by the wind, and the high towers fall with a more serious fall, and the lightning strikes the highest mountains. The heart having been prepared well for hopes for the alternate fate in dangerous affairs, and fears the other fate in favorable affairs. Jupiter brings back ugly winter storms, likewise he removes them. If it is badly now, once it will not be so. Once Apollo rouses the silent muse with his lyre, and does not always stretch out his bow. Appear brave and spirited in steep affairs. Likewise, you will wisely draw together your sails, swollen in a too favorable wind. Ode 2.14. Alas, Posthumus, Posthumus, the swift years slip away, nor does piety bring delay to wrinkles and looming old age and unconquerable death. Not if, however many days go by, friend, you may appease pitiless Pluto with 300 bulls, who restrains 3 times large Geryon and Tydeus with the sad wave, which surely must be sailed by all. Whoever of us enjoys a gift of earth, whether kings or poor farmers we will be. In vain we will be without from bloody war, and the broken waves of the raucous Adriatic Sea. In vain through autumn we will fear the south wind harming to our bodies. The dark Quotas, wandering with the sluggish river, must be visited, and the infamous family of Dionysus and Sisyphus, son of Aeolus, condemned to a long labor. The land and the home and the pleasing wife must be abandoned, and nor will any of these trees which you cherish follow you. A brief master. Except the hateful cypresses, the more worthy heir will spend the Caecubum wine saved by 100 keys, and he will stain the pavement with arrogant, unmixed wine, better than the dinners of the high priest. Ode 3.9. As long as I was pleasing to you, and any preferable young man was not giving his arms to your bright neck, I flourished, happier than the king of the Persians. As long as you burned not for another more, and Lydia was not after Chloe, Lydia of many names, I flourished brighter than Roman Ilia. Now Thracian Chloe rules me, learned with respect to sweet poetry, and knowing of the lyre, for whom I will not fear to die, if the fates will spare my surviving darling. Callias, son of Thurian Ornytus, burns me with a mutual torch, for whom I would suffer to die twice, if the fates will spare my surviving boy. What if ancient Venus returns and forces the separated ones into a bronze yoke? If blonde Chloe is shaken out, and the door is open to rejected Lydia. Although he is more beautiful than a star, you are lighter than a cork and angrier than the unruly Adriatic Sea. I would love to live with you. I, willing, would die with you. Ode 3.13. O fountain of Bandusia, more brilliant than glass, worthy of sweet wine, not without flowers. Tomorrow you will be presented with a kid, for whom the forehead swollen with first horns destines him for love and battles. In vain, for the offspring of the playful herd will stain your cold streams with red blood. The fierce hour of blazing Sirius does not know to touch you. You provide pleasant cold to the bulls tired from the plow and the wandering herd. Even you will become the most famous of fountains. With me saying of the holm oak, having been built on hollow rocks, from which your talkative waters jump down. Ode 3:30. I have completed a monument more lasting than bronze, and higher than the royal site of the pyramids, which neither the destructive rain nor wild north wind is able to destroy, or the countless series of years and flight of times. I will not completely die, and a large part of me will avoid Bithynia. Continuously I will arise, fresh with later praise. While a priest will climb the Capitoline with a silent virgin, I will be spoken of, where the violent Aufidus roars, and where Daunus, pourer of water, ruled a rustic people, powerful from humble position, the first to have brought Aeolian song to Italian poetry. Take on the proud honor, having been sought with services, and for me the Delphic laurel, Melopone, willingly encircle my hair. Satire 1.9. I was going by chance by the sacred way, as is my custom, contemplating I don't know what of trifles, totally in these things. A certain man known to me only in name ran up and seized my hand. How are you, the sweetest thing of the world? Pleasantly, as it is now, I say, and I want all which you want. When he followed closely, you don't want something, do you? I take the lead over, but that guy says that you should get to know me. I am learned. Here I say, you will be of more to me by this. Miserably seeking to depart, I go just now quicker at times to stop to say, I don't know what to the boy into the ear, while sweat was flowing to the lowest ankles. O you, Belanus, lucky of your seat of anger. I was saying silently, while he was chattering whatever, he was praising the city, the districts, as I was responding to nothing, that one. You wish miserably to leave, he said. For a long time I see that, but you do nothing. I continuously persist. I will pursue to hear where now the journey is for you. It is not necessary for you to be led around. I wish to go see a certain someone not known to you, far across the Tiber, near the gardens of Caesar. He is confined to bed by illness. I have nothing which I may do, and I am not lazy. I will follow you continuously. I send down my ears, just as a young donkey of uneven mind. When he has undergone more heavily a burden on his back, that guy said, as certainly as I know myself, you will not regard Viscus, you will not regard Varius as a friend of more value, for who is able to write more verses or quicker than me? who is able to move more limbs gently. Even Hermogenes would envy what I sing. This was a place for interrupting. Is there a mother or relative for you whose hope it is that you are safe? Not anyone for me. I buried them all. What lucky ones. Now I remain. Finish me off, for sad fate looms for me, which an old Sabaean woman, having moved her urn, foretold for me when I was a boy. Neither terrible poison nor the hostile sword will kill, nor pain of his sides, or cough, nor slow gout. A chatterbox will destroy this one at some time or another. If he is wise, let him avoid talkative people as soon as he reaches the peak of his life. We had come to the temple of Vesta, now with the fourth part of a day having passed by, and by chance he had to respond to a plaintiff which, unless he did it, he would have to lose the lawsuit.